Let me tell you something. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody's interested in your complaints. You can cry about how unfair life is, or you can get up and do something about it. The truth is simple. Life will keep moving, whether you're whining about it or making the most of it. The choice is yours. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. I'm here to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So if you're ready to stop making excuses and start making progress, listen up. Here are 10 things you need to understand. Life is not fair. It never has been, and it never will be. You will face obstacles, you will be wronged, you will fall, and sometimes it won't even be your fault. But understand this: blaming others, blaming circumstances, blaming your past, none of it will move you forward. It might feel justified, it might feel good in the moment, but at the end of the day, it leaves you powerless. And if you want to succeed, if you want to rise, if you want to live a life of meaning and purpose, you must take responsibility. You can't rewrite the past, but you can write your future. You may not have had the best start, but the start is not the finish. Every second you spend pointing fingers is a second you waste in chains, shackled to what was instead of stepping into what could be. Yes, life has been hard. Yes, you have been hurt. But now the choice is yours. Do you let those moments define you, or do you stand up, take ownership, and create something greater? When you take responsibility, you take back your power. When you stop blaming, you stop waiting for something or someone to change your life. Because let me tell you, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to do it for you. It's you, and it's always been you. Own your mistakes, own your failures, own your circumstances, and then make the decision to rise above them. Because when you own it, you can change it. When you take responsibility, you are no longer a victim. You are the architect of your future. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who make excuses and those who make it happen. The ones who make excuses will always have reasons why they can't, why they won't, why the world is against them. But the ones who make it happen, they refuse to be held down. They look in the mirror and say, I am responsible for my life. They don't waste time justifying failure. They use failure as fuel. They don't sit around waiting for opportunity. They create it. Taking responsibility doesn't mean everything will be easy. It doesn't mean the road won't be rough. But it does mean that no matter what comes your way, you will find a way through it. It means that no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will rise. It means that you are in control, that you are the captain of your own ship, and that nothing can stop you unless you allow it to. So stop blaming, stop waiting, stop looking to the past for answers. The only way forward is through ownership. The moment you take responsibility is the moment you step into your power. It's the moment you declare to the world and to yourself that you are unstoppable. Because when you take responsibility, you take control. And when you take control, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can keep you from where you are meant to be. Wishing won't build the life you want. Wishing won't put food on your table. Wishing won't make you stronger, smarter, or better. But work changes everything. Work takes a dream and turns it into something real. Work is the difference between those who talk about success and those who achieve it. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, waiting for motivation, waiting for someone to hand them an opportunity. But let me tell you something. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to knock on your door and hand you success on a silver platter. If you want it, you have to get up and take it. You have to wake up every single day and decide that no matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how many doubts try to creep into your mind, you are going to put in the work. Because that's what it takes. People love to say, one day I'll do it. One day I'll start my business. One day I'll get in shape. But one day is just another way of saying never. You don't get tomorrow promised to you. You have today, you have right now. And if you're not using this moment to move forward, you are standing still, watching your dreams slip further and further away. Success doesn't belong to the talented, the privileged, or the lucky. It belongs to the relentless. It belongs to the ones who are willing to sacrifice, to push past their excuses, to do the hard things that most people avoid. It belongs to the ones who get up before the sun rises, who stay up late grinding when everyone else is sleeping, who refuse to settle for average. And understand this, it's not always going to be easy. There will be days when you feel like quitting. There will be moments when the results don't come fast enough, when doubt whispers in your ear telling you to give up. That's the test. That's the moment when most people fold, but not you. Because you know what's on the other side of that struggle. You know that every ounce of effort, every sleepless night, every setback is shaping you into the person you need to become. You don't need another motivational speech. You don't need someone to tell you to believe in yourself. What you need is to take action. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week. Right now. You say you want success? Then show it. Make a decision. Commit to it. And don't stop until you get there. Because the ones who succeed, they aren't the ones who wished for it. They're the ones who worked for it. Life doesn't owe you an easy ride. It never promised you smooth roads, clear skies, or a life free from struggle. You will face obstacles, you will encounter setbacks, that's a guarantee. But what you do next, that's on you. Complaining won't change your circumstances. Complaining won't open doors. Complaining won't build your future. Every second you spend dwelling on what's wrong is a second stolen from what could be made right. Nobody wants to hear about the problem unless you're coming with a solution. People respect those who take action, not those who sit back and dwell on how unfair life is. When you focus on what's wrong, you give power to the problem. When you focus on solutions, you take that power back. The choice is simple: be a victim or be a warrior. There are two kinds of people in this world: those who make excuses and those who make things happen. The first group waits for someone to fix things for them. They sit in their own misery, waiting for a miracle that never comes. But the second group, they see the same obstacles and refuse to be defeated. They don't waste time pointing fingers. They don't sit around waiting for permission to move forward. They figure it out. They build, they create, they push through the storm until they find the light on the other side. Every great success story was written by someone who refused to give up in the face of adversity. Think about it. Every innovator, every leader, every game changer in history had every reason to quit. But they didn't. They found a way forward. And you can too. You just have to stop telling yourself the lie that you're stuck. You're not stuck. You're simply choosing not to move. Ask yourself, are you looking for a way out or are you looking for a way through? Because the difference is everything. The moment you decide to shift your mindset, to replace every complaint with action, is the moment your life begins to change. When you hit a wall, don't stand there complaining about how high it is. Start looking for a way over, under, or around it. Or better yet, break it down. Nobody said it would be easy. Nobody said it wouldn't be frustrating. But success doesn't come to those who wait for the perfect conditions. It comes to those who create opportunities, even when the odds are against them. It comes to those who refuse to let their circumstances define them. So the next time you catch yourself complaining, stop. Take that energy and put it into building something better. Be the person who finds a way when others say it's impossible. Be the person who refuses to be defeated. Because when you start focusing on solutions, life stops being something that happens to you and starts being something you take control of. And that, right there, is where real success begins. Too many people waste their lives staring at someone else's lane instead of running their own race. They scroll through their phones, looking at highlight reels, measuring their worth against someone else's success. They see the cars, the houses, the vacations, the smiles, and they start believing they're behind. They start believing they're not good enough. But let me tell you something. Comparison is a lie. It's a distraction. It's a thief that robs you of your peace, your confidence, and your potential. And if you don't cut it out, it will steal your future before you even have a chance to build it. The only person you need to compete with is the one in the mirror. The only person you need to compete with is the one in the mirror. That's the real battle. That's the only opponent that matters. Yesterday's version of you is standing right there, daring you to step up, daring you to outwork them, to outgrow them, to leave them behind. That's your mission, that's your focus, because if you spend all your time watching someone else's life, you'll never build your own. You see, the problem with comparison is that it only tells half the story. You're looking at someone else's finish line while you're still running your race. You don't see the late nights, the failures, the sacrifices, the doubt they had to fight through to get where they are. You don't see the pain behind the smile, the struggle behind the success. And if you did, you'd realize that they had to compete just like you do. They had to block out the noise, stop worrying about who was ahead, and focus on putting one foot in front of the other. You were not put on this earth to be a copy of anybody else. Your path is your own, your timing is your own, and your success will come when you stop looking left and right and start looking straight ahead. So stop comparing and start competing. Every single day, wake up with one goal: to be better than you were yesterday. If you were disciplined yesterday, be more disciplined today. If you fell short yesterday, learn from it and rise stronger today. That's how you win. That's how you grow. That's how you build something real. The truth is, nobody has it all figured out. Everyone is battling something. Everyone is working through their own struggles. But the ones who make it, the ones who rise above, they don't let comparison slow them down. They don't waste energy worrying about what someone else is doing. They take that energy and use it to fuel their own growth. So from this moment on, shift your focus, get locked in, stay in your lane. Your only competition is you. Your only mission is progress. And if you keep pushing, keep improving, keep showing up for yourself, one day you'll look in that mirror and see exactly what you were meant to become. And that will be worth more than anything you could have ever compared yourself to. You will fail. Let that sink in. You will stumble. You will fall flat on your face. You will have moments where you question everything, your dreams, your abilities, your worth. But hear me loud and clear. Failure is not the enemy. Failure is the greatest teacher you will ever have. The problem isn't failure itself. The problem is how you see it. Too many people treat failure like a final chapter, like a wall they can't climb. They fall once, and instead of getting back up, they stay down. They start believing the lie that they're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But failure is not a stop sign, it's a detour. It's a lesson. It's life pushing you, testing you, preparing you for what's next. Look at the most successful people in the world. You think they got there without failing? Every single one of them has scars, has stories of rejection, of disappointment, of moments where they wanted to give up. But they didn't. They learned, they adapted, they moved forward. They understood that failure wasn't the opposite of success, it was part of the process. So the question is, what are you going to do when failure knocks you down? Are you going to stay there, defeated, or are you going to get back up, dust yourself off, and figure out what went wrong? Because that's the difference between those who make it and those who don't. The ones who make it don't run from failure. They don't let it break them. They lean into it. They study it. They take the lessons and use them to come back stronger. Think about it. When you were a child learning to walk, did you give up the first time you fell? No. You got up, you tried again, you wobbled, you stumbled, but you kept going until you figured it out. Somewhere along the way, life convinced you that failing was something to be ashamed of. But it's not. It's necessary. It's proof that you're trying, that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, that you're in the game. You have to stop letting fear control you. Fear of failure will keep you stuck. It will keep you playing small, settling for less, staying in situations that don't serve you because you're too afraid to take a risk. But regret? Regret is far worse than failure. At least when you fail, you learn. At least when you fail, you grow. But regret? That's the weight of never knowing what could have been. So let me tell you something. Fail boldly. fail loudly, fail forward, but whatever you do, don't quit. Every time you get knocked down, get up. Every time you miss the mark, adjust. Every time you fall short, learn. Because if you keep going, if you refuse to let failure define you, one day you'll look back and realize that every setback was setting you up for something greater. And that is how you win. Too many people are sitting around waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right feeling, waiting for some spark of motivation to get them moving. But let me tell you something. Motivation is a lie. It comes and goes. It's here today, gone tomorrow. It's unreliable, unpredictable, and if you depend on it, you will never reach your full potential. Discipline. That's the key. That's the difference. That's what separates the ones who dream from the ones who achieve. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't wait for inspiration. It doesn't ask for permission. Discipline shows up, rain or shine, tired or energized, motivated or not. Discipline does what needs to be done, whether it feels good or not. Successful people don't wait until they feel like it. They don't wait for the right mood, the perfect conditions, or some magical sign that tells them it's time to act. They just do it. They wake up early when they don't want to. They go to the gym when they'd rather sleep. They put in the work when nobody's watching. And that's why they win. Because while everyone else is waiting for motivation, they're already miles ahead, grinding, building, growing. You think athletes wake up every day excited to train? You think the most successful people in the world always feel like working? No, but they do it anyway because they know the truth. Discipline is the bridge between wanting something and actually having it. It's the force that carries you through when motivation runs out. And let me tell you something, motivation will run out. You will have days where you don't want to do it. Days where your body says, not today. Days where your mind is full of doubt, exhaustion, and excuses. And those are the days that matter the most because those are the days that define you. Anybody can work hard when they feel inspired. That's easy. But what about when you don't? What about when life knocks you down? What about when you're tired, frustrated, and nothing seems to be going your way? That's when discipline steps in. That's when you have to push through, not because you feel like it, but because you made a commitment. Because you understand that your goals don't care about your feelings. Discipline is about showing up every single day. No shortcuts, no excuses, no waiting, just showing up and putting in the work. Because the truth is, success isn't built in a moment of inspiration. It's built in the grind. It's built in the quiet moments when nobody's watching. It's built in the sacrifices, the early mornings, the late nights, the times when you wanted to quit but chose not to. So stop waiting. Stop looking for motivation. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Start now. Start today. Build discipline. Because when motivation fades, and it will, discipline will be the only thing left standing between you and the life you want. And that is what makes all the difference. If you live for the approval of others, you'll die by their rejection. Let that sink in. Because too many people spend their lives chasing validation, waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, waiting for a round of applause before they even take the first step. But let me tell you something. You don't need their approval. You don't need their permission. The only validation you need is the belief you have in yourself. People will always have something to say. They'll doubt you, they'll criticize you, they'll tell you what you can't do, what's impossible, what's too risky. And if you let their voices become louder than your own, you will never move. You will stay stuck, paralyzed by fear, trapped by opinions that don't serve you. But here's the truth, their opinions don't pay your bills. Their opinions don't build your dreams. Their opinions don't define your worth. You have to trust yourself, even when nobody else does. Even when the world looks at you like you're crazy, like your dreams are too big, like your goals are out of reach, you have to believe anyway. Because the ones who make it, they weren't the ones who played it safe. They weren't the ones who waited for approval. They were the ones who stepped out, who took the risk, who bet on themselves, even when nobody else did. Every great success story started with someone who refused to listen to doubt. They were told they wouldn't make it. They were laughed at, ridiculed, rejected, but they didn't let it break them. They trusted the vision, they trusted the process, and they kept going. And now, the same people who doubted them are the same ones clapping for them. That's the thing. You cannot base your life on what people think, because their opinions will change. One day they'll cheer for you, the next they'll tear you down. If you let that dictate your decisions, you'll spend your whole life on a roller coaster, chasing approval that will never be enough. But if you trust yourself, if you stand firm in who you are and where you're going, nothing can shake you. So stop waiting. Stop looking around for a nod of approval. Stop hesitating because you're afraid of what people might say. Their doubts are not your doubts. Their fears are not your fears. Their limits do not have to be your limits. Go after what's yours, not because someone told you that you could, but because deep down you know you can. Trust your grind, trust your gut, trust your ability to figure it out, to learn, to grow, to rise. Because at the end of the day, when the applause fades, when the crowd disappears, when it's just you and your reflection, you want to look in that mirror and know that you lived life on your terms. And that will always be worth more than anyone's approval. Time is the greatest equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, how much money you have, or what obstacles stand in your way. Everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent, it's not luck, it's how they use their time. I don't have time. That's the biggest lie you can tell yourself. The truth is, you do have time. You just choose to spend it on things that don't move you forward. How much time do you waste scrolling through your phone? How much time do you spend complaining about what's not working instead of fixing it? How many days have passed where you said, "I'll do it tomorrow," but tomorrow never came? Successful people don't have more hours in a day than you. They don't have some secret advantage. They just make different choices. They don't waste time on distractions. They don't make excuses. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment. They make the time. They wake up earlier. They stay up later. They put in the extra work when everyone else is sleeping, relaxing, or making excuses. The question is, how badly do you want it? Because if something truly matters to you, you'll find a way. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. And that's the brutal truth. The people who win in life are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who sacrificed, who prioritized, who made time even when it wasn't convenient. You say you don't have time to work out, but you have time for TV. You say you don't have time to start your business, but you have time for social media. You say you don't have time to chase your dreams, but you have time to watch someone else live theirs. It's not a lack of time. It's a lack of urgency. It's a lack of commitment. It's a lack of discipline. If you really want something, if you really believe in it, you will make time. You will cut out the distractions. You will wake up earlier. You will push past the fatigue. You will do what needs to be done, because the alternative is staying exactly where you are. And if you're okay with that, keep making excuses. But if you're not, if you know deep down that you were meant for more, then it's time to stop talking and start doing. No more waiting, no more one day, no more hoping for more hours in a day. You have all the time you need. The only question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to let another day slip away, another week, another year? Or are you going to take control, take action, and finally make time for the life you say you want? Because time will keep moving with or without you. The only difference is what you choose to do with it. If you never step into the game, how do you expect to win? Too many people spend their lives sitting on the sidelines, watching, waiting, hoping, afraid to take the shot, afraid to make a move, afraid to risk failure. And so they settle. They stay where it's comfortable, where it's safe, where they know exactly what to expect. But let me tell you something. There is no greatness in comfort. There is no success in playing it safe. If you want more out of life, you have to be willing to take risks. That dream you have, it's going to require courage. That goal you keep thinking about, it's going to take boldness. Nothing worth having comes without risk. Nothing worth building comes without stepping into the unknown. Every person who has ever achieved anything great had to take a leap of faith. They had to step out when there were no guarantees. They had to bet on themselves when nobody else would. Yes, there's a chance you might fail. Yes, things might not work out exactly as you planned. But let me ask you this. What's the alternative? Playing it safe? Never trying? Never knowing what could have been? That's not living. That's existing. And that's not what you were put on this earth to do. Failure is not the enemy. Fear is. Fear of rejection. Fear of judgment. Fear of losing what's familiar. But what you don't realize is that playing it safe is the real risk. Because every day you let fear stop you, you lose. Every time you stay in your comfort zone, you miss out on opportunities that could change your life. Every time you tell yourself, maybe next time, you're delaying your own destiny. The people who make it, the people who truly live, are the ones who take the leap. The ones who feel the fear and do it anyway. The ones who put themselves out there, knowing they might fail, but refusing to let that stop them. Because they understand that even if they fall, even if they stumble, they are still moving forward. They are still growing, still learning, still becoming better than they were yesterday. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop playing small when you were meant for more. Bet on yourself, take the risk, make the move. You will never know what you're capable of until you step out of the familiar and into the unknown. You will never know how high you can climb until you let go of the ledge and start the ascent. Will it be scary? Absolutely. But do it anyway, because the greatest rewards come from the greatest risks. The life you want, the success you dream of, the person you are meant to become, it's all waiting on the other side of fear. But you have to step up. You have to go for it. Because playing it safe guarantees only one thing: you'll never reach your full potential. And that is the biggest risk of all. Talking is easy. Anybody can talk about their dreams, their plans, their goals. Anybody can say they're going to start that business, write that book, get in shape, change their life. But talk means nothing without action. And that's where most people fall short. They get caught up in the excitement of saying what they're going to do, but never take the first step to actually do it. You ever meet someone who's always talking about their next big move, but every time you see them, they're in the same place? They've got all the ideas, all the plans, all the words, but no action. And the truth is, nobody remembers what you said you were going to do. They remember what you did. They remember the results you produced, the impact you made, the work you put in. If you want to stand out, if you want to be different, let your actions speak for you. Less talking, more doing. Less planning, more executing. Less dreaming, more achieving. Because dreams don't work unless you do. Planning is important, but at some point you've got to stop planning and start moving. At some point you've got to stop waiting for the perfect time and realize the perfect time is right now. You don't need permission. You don't need another pep talk. You don't need to announce it to the world. Just start. Put in the work when nobody's watching. Take the small steps, the uncomfortable steps, the ones that scare you, because that's how things get done. Not by talking about them, but by doing them. Look around at the people who are winning in life. They didn't get there by running their mouths. They got there by grinding, by showing up every single day, by making sacrifices, by taking action when others hesitated. They didn't wait to feel ready. They didn't wait for motivation to strike. They got up and got to work even when they didn't feel like it. It's not about what you say, it's about what you do consistently. It's about waking up and making progress, even if it's slow. It's about building momentum, stacking small wins, proving to yourself that you are not just a talker, you are a doer. Because action builds confidence, action builds discipline. Action is what separates those who make it from those who don't. So ask yourself, are you just talking, or are you doing? Are you making moves, or are you making excuses? Because the world doesn't owe you anything. Success doesn't care about what you intended to do. It only rewards what you actually do. It's time to stop saying what you're going to do It's time to stop making promises to yourself that you never keep. It's time to put your head down, shut your mouth, and do the work. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what you did, not what you said you were going to do. You have a choice right now. You can walk away from this message and go back to your same old habits, same old complaints, same old excuses. Or you can make a decision to change. Nobody is going to do it for you. It's on you. So are you going to sit back and let life happen to you? Or are you going to take control and make life happen for you? Get up, get moving, get to work. And don't stop until you get where you're meant to be. No more complaining, no more excuses. It's time to make it happen.